Water, also known as H2O. This is the most important inorganic biological molecule. It's inorganic because it's not made of carbon and hydrogen, but it's still classified as a biological molecule because of its importance in biological systems. Now, water makes up 70 to 95% of the mass of a cell, and it's also found in the environment. This is for several different reasons and applications. Here we have a diagram showing the different applications of water in the environment and in society. So firstly, water is found in weather systems, either as rain or snow or hail or dew. Now this also helps maintain and regulate temperatures. Then we have water that's needed to grow crops and feed our increasing population. This includes also water needed for plants to grow and photosynthesize. Water is also a habitat for animals to live in, either as freshwater or as saltwater animals. Then we also have water needed for drinking, either for us as humans or for animals in the environment. Then we also have water in industrial processes where it can be used as a solvent. Water is a very small molecule with two hydrogens that are attached to oxygen. Now, it can be compared to hydrogen sulfide, which is a sulfur atom attached to two hydrogens. So hydrogen sulfide has a very low melting and boiling point, with its melting point at negative 82 degrees Celsius and its boiling point at negative 60 degrees Celsius. This means that hydrogen sulfide is a gas at room temperature. We can then look at water, which is the same size, but its melting point is much higher at 0 degrees Celsius and its boiling point even higher at 100 degrees Celsius, meaning that it would be a liquid at room temperature. This is because of the hydrogen bonding between water molecules. Each water molecule will be able to bond with 4 other water molecules, forming hydrogen bonds in between them and making a covalent lattice structure. In the water molecule itself, the oxygen and the hydrogens are bonded covalently, meaning that they share electrons to form the bond. These electrons are shared unequally, giving oxygen a slightly negative charge and hydrogen a slightly positive charge. These difference in charges will attract other water molecules and create a hydrostatic attraction called hydrogen bonding. We can now have a look at the properties of water. So firstly, water has a very high specific heat. Now, the specific heat is the amount of heat or energy required to raise the temperature of a material by a given amount. This is because of the hydrogen bonding. The hydrogen bonds need to be broken first for the molecules to be able to move around freely. These bonds aren't really strong, but because there's so many of them, it takes a lot of energy to break the bonds and raise the temperature of the water. Now, this high specific heat makes water more resistant to change in temperature. This means that the cells in our body stay at a constant temperature, and this will help with chemical reactions that need to take place. Think about enzymes that need to be kept at a constant temperature so they do not denature. This high specific heat also makes habitats more stable for organisms and fish and animals to live in them. The second property that we're going to look at is the fact that water is a polar molecule. Now, what this means is that the oxygen is slightly negatively charged and the hydrogen is slightly positively charged. The negative charge of the oxygen will attract other positive charges, and the positive charge of the hydrogen will attract other negative charges. This means that water can act as a solvent. So ions and polar molecules, meaning hydrophilic molecules, are able to dissolve into water. It's good to remember that non-polar molecules cannot dissolve in water. This is because they do not have any charges that can attract to either oxygen or hydrogen, and they won't form any bonds. This is important for the formation of cell membranes, like we did earlier. The fact that water can act as a solvent is very important as it enables transport in our bodies, like in our blood system or our lymph system, and also in plants, like in their vascular systems. It can also be a solvent for reactions to occur in our bodies.